The first bill on the calendar for the day is House File 717. The clerk will report the bill.
House File number 717, number 1 on the calendar for the day, an act relating to transportation, designating a segment of Mark Trunk Highway 5 in Chanhassen as Prince Roger Nelson Memorial Highway.
I recognize the member from Carver, Representative Ream, to present the bill.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, members, dearly beloved. If you look on your desk, you will see that we are passing out sheets with information about Highway 5 that we are hoping to rename a portion of that. And this is the sign that we are looking at. We had several meetings with MnDOT. Jennifer Witt of MnDOT was great to work with, as well as the Prince Rogers Nelson Memorial Highway Committee. We've had several conversations with the family of Augie Mueller. If you've heard the story, Highway 5, a 45-mile stretch of Highway 5 is named after the late Representative Augie Mueller, who served in this body. He was a representative for about 31 years, I believe. And I did speak with his nephew about this. Someone said that he was like Representative Frank Hornstein, very well regarded. He worked with farmers to work out all the kinks on Highway 5 when that was built. So we want to keep that highway in his name. But we were working to get a 7-mile stretch dedicated to Prince Rogers Nelson because he was such an important figure in Minnesota history and Chanhassen history. And it's a very special accommodation they made for us. Normally a sign like this is in brown, a background of brown with white lettering. But that didn't seem right for Prince to have a brown sign. So after a number of meetings, we were able to get MnDOT to agree to that. Super excited to be carrying this bill. There are a lot of people here dressed in purple, ready to celebrate, ready to party like it's 1999. I'll be short and sweet, but I will tell you, living in Chanhassen for the past 26 years and being a resident of Minnesota, I've heard a lot of stories about Prince, but one of my favorite stories was when I was working at the Chanhassen Library. One of the librarians there said she had gotten a call from a library down in Louisville, Kentucky. And they had called the library because they had received this check for $12,000 for their library down there. And it turns out that this library was the first library dedicated to African Americans. But they didn't know where the check came from. And it had an address. And let's see, it was from Love for One Another Charities on Audubon Road. So if you know Chanhassen, you will know that that's Paisley Park. So that check came from Prince. But Prince was very quiet about the gifts he gave. He was, he gave a lot of money out, but he was very quiet about it. He gave $10,000 to the local elementary school for their music education program. So anyway, lots of great stories, and I'm sure we'll be hearing more today as we celebrate. This is actually the 7-year anniversary of his passing, so a bit bittersweet. But happy to bring this bill forward, and I look forward to celebrating with you later. Thank you so much.
There are no amendments at the desk. The clerk will give the bill its third reading.
Third reading, House File number 717.
Third reading. Any discussion to the bill? The member from Carver, Representative Nash.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As, I guess, the senior member from Carver County, the folks in Carver County are looking forward to this. I think the people around the state are looking forward to this to pay tribute to a person that invested heavily in our culture here in the state of Minnesota and did a lot of really good things for the people. And as the representative said, very quietly. And I think this is a very nice way to honor Prince. Please vote green.
Any further discussion? The member from Ramsey, Representative Perez-Vega.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It is with great honor we have in the state of the purple legendary Prince 7 years today since his passing onto the afterlife. 7 was a remarkable number for Prince if you are a Prince fan. And I want to just really give special thanks to Representative Rem for making this happen for the kids of Minnesota, the real kids of the Purple Rain of Minnesota, who aspire to be musicians and activists and make sure that Black and brown children had equity in our education system. He used to provide, yes, a lot of funding and secretly, because he wasn't about himself. He was about the momentum of movement for all children to be great in this great state. Thank you to his family for being here, and thank you for his family of musicians for being here. This is for the kids, the real kids of Minnesota. Thank you.
The member from Dakota, Representative Hudella.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Super excited for this bill, members. It's a great bill. Yep, I'm a super fan of Prince. Growing up, being a teen in the 80s, you gotta be. But I think more importantly too, and Representative Ream spoke to this, if you just look at the impact that this one man had, not only on Chanhassen and the Twin Cities in our state, but really nationally and globally. I had the good fortune of being at the Super Bowl when it was about Prince. I mean, that is global impact. And even if I wasn't a fan, this would be the right thing to do to honor that individual, rename this stretch. Somebody that came from our roots, came from Minnesota, that was able to aspire to that level of global impact was really cool. So thank you very much. Hopefully a unanimous green vote today.
Any further discussion to the bill? Seeing none, the clerk will take the roll on the bill. The clerk will close the roll. There being 121 ayes and 0 nays, the bill is passed and its title agreed to. Representative Ream, point of personal privilege.
I rise for a point of personal privilege. Thank you. Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get signs on Highway 5, memorial signs, in law forever, and that's a mighty long time. But I'm here to tell you, there's something else. They'll be purple, a 7-mile highway of remembrance. You can always see the signs, day or night. So when you vote aye on this bill, legislators, and you know it's right, everything will be all right. Instead of asking me how much money it will cost, ask me how important this is. Because in this body, things can get real hard to get into statute. On this vote, you're on your own. And if that red button tried to draw your finger down, I'm glad you went crazy and pushed green. Thank you so much.